Hello guys, welcome to a new video. I just watched the PlayStation showcase and yeah, this, as you can probably hear at my tone and voice, I'm kind of disappointed because that show wasn't really what I was expecting. It was more like a extended state of play. This video is going to be a little bit loose with the editing. There's not going to be a lot of editing because I'm going to upload it as soon as I can. And this is just my pure reaction from the PlayStation showcase that just happened. And I have to say, it is really disappointing. As in, this is what we waited for almost like 2 years. We didn't had any PlayStation showcase last year, keep that in mind. And then they basically deliver something more like a state of play, like an extended state of play instead of a showcase. And a lot of first-party games are missing. And the first-party games that were there were only CGI trailers. Now, there were some cool highlight spots here and there that I want to give you guys also a look at. But it's not a lot. And I was expecting a far bigger show out now, and there are a lot of games missing. There was no Pragmata, although I did say in my predictions video that that would maybe be the case that they would skip. Maybe they show up at Summer Game Fest. And no Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We did get a new trailer for Final Fantasy XVI, so I was right with that prediction. But a lot of my predictions also were not coming true, unfortunately. So let's just take a quick look at what was shown off. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller here with the power of editing in OBS. So, SpiderMan II is one of the biggest things at the showcase, and I have to say, graphically it doesn't really look that impressive. It looks more like a PlayStation 4 Spider-Man graphically, or Miles Morales. I expected a more bigger graphical leap or jump here. Especially because this is a PlayStation 5 only game. Don't get me wrong, I do think that gameplay wise this looks absolutely fine. I don't know, I maybe expected graphically a bit more from Spider-Man 2 here. The bigger problem is the fact that a lot of first party stuff is missing. There is no God of War Ragnarok small God of War game with Atreus. There is no even factions multiplayer, Last of Us factions, where is that? No Horizon multiplayer game that we were expecting. Anything, no Ghost of Tsushima 2. Anything single player like that the PlayStation fans are expecting. The single player games. We knew a lot of stuff would be live servers, but the first party stuff that was here, like Helldivers 2, it was okay, but Haven is not a big studio by any means. As well, the fact that they showed off Spider-Man 2 at the end of the showcase, I was expecting that they would start off with Spider-Man 2, you know, and then get a bigger announcement, like a teaser of a new Ghost of Tsushima or a teaser of a new Uncharted, for instance, like something like that. That's what you do at these type of showcase E3 style of events, and they just don't. That's why it's more like a bigger state of play. And you know, Spider-Man 2 at the end of the day is fine. There isn't even a release date, which is weird, because we were speculating it would be September, and it was leaked that it would be September, but there is no date. There's no September date, so it's probably delayed until November, maybe even. They did say it's this year though. Still though, kind of weird that we don't have a date. If it is September, they should have said something already now. So it might be delayed until November. The gameplay looks good though, I'm not gonna lie, that's fine. But graphically I expected a bit more, to be honest here. The actual, I think, biggest announcement that we got was Metal Gear Solid Delta, which is Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake Snake Eater. It wasn't really a surprise though, because I've made countless videos on it, and we finally have the confirmation here from Konami that it is indeed Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, and they are also going to release a collection for Metal Gear Solid 1, 2 and 3 remasters for PlayStation 4 and 5. This was, in my opinion, the biggest announcement. And we see here, it's just a teaser trailer, there's no gameplay. But we see here Snake at the end in the swamp, teased in all his glory. And he looks awesome. Probably the biggest announcement for me. You know, Konami fans need something like this to win them back over. To make hardcore games again, like Silent Hill 2. No, Silent Hill 2 as well. Very weird that didn't get any update as well. Pretty strange. Here we see the full title, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. That's the name. Yeah, and isn't the announcement of the collection, but there's also a collection coming for PlayStation 4 and 5 with Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. And this remake is coming to PlayStation 5. That was the biggest announcement, in my opinion, for this showcase. Then, in my opinion, the biggest surprise is Phantom Blade Zero. At first, I thought this was like Rise of the Ronin, and we already don't have Ghost of Tsushima to look forward to. So this was actually the closest thing that looked like it, and it looked very cool to me. At first, I thought this was maybe a Souls-like. When I looked at the gameplay, it's by a studio that I don't know. This just comes out of nowhere, this game, and it looks awesome. Combat-wise, it looks very nice. Maybe it's not a Souls-like, and maybe it's just like an action third-person game. More like an action-adventure game, not per se Souls-like. It could be Souls-like, but I could also see this being Souls-like. I hope it's not a Souls-like. I want something else than Souls-likes. But yeah, look at the movement of this stuff. This looks very cool. And it's Chinese, Japanese inspired. I don't know, one of the two. I think Japanese. Could be wrong. Could also be Chinese because of the samurai hats. It looks very Japanese. Yeah, this shit looks really cool. I thought at first this was going to be Rise of the Ronin. But it's called Phantom Blade Zero. There is no, I think, release date for it. No. But it looked very cool. It's coming to PlayStation 5, and I think this was the biggest surprise of the showcase. Then, one other big surprise from Capcom. At first I was thinking, aren't we going to get Pragmata? But we got a trailer for Dragon's Dogma 2, which is very cool. I did not expect this at all. I thought we would see more Pragmata first, because that game was supposed to come this year. Now it's probably going to get delayed again. But we see some gameplay here. I think the game is further along in development than we think. And I think this is going to be a early 2024 game. It looks pretty cool. I wasn't really hot on the first Dragon's Dogma because of the environment. I thought the environment was kind of boring. But this already looks better than the first Dragon's Dogma. It's still a little bit very Western European inspired, and I am Western European myself, so I'm kind of bored with those, shall I say, aesthetics. And Final Fantasy 16 is also very Western European inspired, but this that looks more like a fantasy, Final Fantasy twist with it, so I like that a bit more. We shall see about Dragon's Dogma if it can capture me thematic wise, but this looks very cool. Climbing the monsters, stuff like that is back from the first game. Let me know if you want me to cover this game. If there are any leaks for it, I might cover this. Let me know in the comment section down below. It's a big open world RPG, so I might cover this as well. Then another big surprise that I did not expect was Alan Wake 2. I thought that would be at the Xbox showcase, but alas, it's at the PlayStation showcase. Unfortunately, I already have some bad news towards Alan Wake 2 because it's not going to have any physical copies. I just saw that on Twitter, on social media, and I'm very much against that because I'm a physical copy buyer. We see here gameplay from another protagonist, a female FBI agent that you can play. So she's probably important to the story, but you also play as Alan Wake later in the trailer. You see that here. This shot is very cool in the city. This looks graphically pretty nice as well. Probably one of the better looking graphics this showcase. I thought the first game was pretty good. I never got to finish it, but it was a pretty nice game, so I'm looking forward to this one to see how it's doing review-wise. And it's coming out October 17th. October 17th this year, so we have another game that we can look forward to. Then we have the gameplay reveal of Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I did not expect at all. I thought that this was going to be at Ubisoft Forward, but alas, it looks okay. It looks like it's going back more to the traditional Assassin's Creed gameplay. Graphically, it doesn't really wow me at all, and I don't think the gameplay also really sold me. So I'm going to see how the reviews are going to be for this game, and then I might pick it up if it's interesting. But yeah, new Assassin's Creed with gameplay, and it's coming out like the leaks said. I made a video on that. October 12th, I believe, yes, October 12th the game is coming out. So a new Assassin's Creed, pretty standard. Then I quickly wanted to go over this new game from Bungie, which is I guess going to be a first-person shooter multiplayer game. There isn't really much to see here. It looked interesting art style-wise, but yeah, it is just a CGI trailer, so you can't really say anything about it. So I'm just going to go quickly over that. It's called Marathon. I hope they show some gameplay, actual gameplay soon. In the near future, maybe at Summer Game Fest. But yeah, so far it's just a CGI trailer. I hope it's interesting. I don't even know if it's going to be an Xbox exclusive or PlayStation exclusive. No, it's not. It's also going to be on Xbox, PC. It's going to be multi-platform, so not just PlayStation. And then this game looked a bit interesting to me, more like a AA game. It looks like a survival game. A little bit like a Breath of the Wild style, because you have this paraglider that you can use and you have these very weird monsters and nature, stuff like that. Graphically, it looks pretty nice, especially if this is a AA game. It looks pretty nice. You have all these creatures roaming around, but it is a survival game from what I've seen from the gameplay. I do hope it has some story elements to it. It's called Towers of Ahasba. Very interesting title. Yeah, it looks interesting to me, but I want to see if it has any single player elements, stuff like that. So that's really all I got from this showcase that was worth pointing out. There was also a new trailer for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, but there was no release date on that. Also very weird. They did say it would come winter this year with a release window, but I would have expected now a date, because that game has been in development for such a long time now, and there just needs to be a date for that game in particular. Helldivers 2 was also shown, but I don't really care about that game, to be honest. Those were my highlights of the showcase, shall I say. But yeah, kind of a disappointing showcase. I expected more, especially from first party. Yeah, ultimately this is more a state of play, and a lot of first party games are missing here. We don't know anything about Band Studio. Where's Band Studio? They have been teasing Project Awakening. They retweeted it with question mark or like ... They were teasing the PlayStation showcase. Nothing of them. This was a very weird showcase with not a lot of first party, and if there was first party, we did had also Helldivers 2. I forgot about that. But even that though, it didn't really look. It looked better than Helldivers 1. It's now third person, but I was expecting more from this showcase. I'm gonna be honest. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of this showcase. I was kind of disappointed with it. I expected more after 2 years now of silence, of like not having any showcase, just state of plays. But this is basically a state of play 2.0 in my opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below. And I do think Xbox has now a bigger chance of striking bigger. I hope they do, because they kind of need it. Let me know in the comment section down below, what are your guys' opinions of the showcase. Did you like Spider-Man? Did you like the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake reveal? Or Dragon's Dogma 2 was a surprise. And of course Alan Wake 2 was there. Phantom Blade Zero looked interesting. Let me know in the comment section down below. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next Get Rekt Gaming News video. Hopefully a better one. Bye bye.